The US government is downsizing. President Donald Trump wants to fire nearly all government employees. That's more than 2 million people in all. They are the backbone of the US government, but Trump wants them out and he wants it quickly. To speed things up, he's offering these workers a deal. If they resign now, they can leave with 8 months of pay. And this is being framed as voluntary exit. But make no mistake, this is a mass layoff. President Donald Trump is trying to dismantle the US government as it exists today. These employees have received an email. It describes a deferred resignation program. The recipients of this mail are all civil servants, the men and women who execute government decisions, plus those who work in support functions like human resources and IT. All those who hold permanent positions in the US government, they've all received this email. Trump has given them time till the 6th of February. If they resign now, they will walk away with 8 months of pay and benefits. They will be placed on leave, so they can stop coming to work immediately. All they have to do is this: reply to that email with the word resign. The White House has called its severance package very generous, 8 months of pay. Some essential employees are exempt from this layoff scheme, like military personnel, immigration and national security staff, and postal workers. Their jobs remain safe for now. As for the rest, they're all in Trump's firing line. More than 2 million employees. 10% of them are expected to take the deal, or so Trump's officials hope. They believe 10% of the government staff, which is around 200,000 employees, will resign. And if that happens, the government will save $100 billion. That is their calculation anyway. But what happens to those who decide to stay? The president will continue to target them. The same email spells out what lies ahead for those employees. I have a quote with me. Listen to what it says. We cannot give you full assurance regarding the certainty of your position or agency, but should your position be eliminated, you will be treated with dignity. This sounds polite, but the message is quite clear. Leave now with the benefits or you'll be fired. That's essentially what the email conveyed. It is now available on a government website. Let's show you what this looks like. It even includes a draft resignation letter which the employees could use. Allow me to quote from it. This is what the letter says. I am certain of my decision to resign, and my choice to resign is fully voluntary. The email is titled A Fork in the Road. If you feel that you've heard this before, you have. It is from Elon Musk's playbook. He used the very same strategy to sack Twitter employees before he renamed the platform X. Musk sent them an email with the very same title, A Fork in the Road. It was an ultimatum. Elon Musk said he will only keep those employees who are quote-unquote extremely hardcore and willing to work long hours at high intensity. Those were the words that he used. Twitter employees were specifically asked to agree to this, and those who did not were sacked with a severance package of 3 months' salary. Now, Elon Musk is in charge of making the US government leaner. He is running the newly created DOGE department. DOGE stands for Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. When Trump picked Musk to run it, he also hinted at targeting federal workers.
I will create a government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force.
Trump promised drastic reforms, and he's walking the talk. He's deploying Elon Musk's methods to shake things up and firing US government employees. He's been targeting them from the word go, from the moment he took office. On day one, Trump signed multiple executive orders directed at federal employees, starting with a government hiring freeze. The president also banned remote working. All federal employees were asked to report to work. He also issued a separate executive order to reclassify some federal employees, and now he wants to sack them. So he's ramping up the pressure. The question is, why? Why target government employees? Apparently, Trump wants to replace them with loyalists. That is what observers say. They say the president wants people who won't challenge his orders. He's prioritizing patronage over performance. Again, this is a leaf from Musk's playbook. Most likely it is his brainchild. He has been trolling federal workers on X and urging them to type up their resignations. But it's easier said than done. Firing government workers is not as simple as laying off workers in the private sector. You cannot just hand out pink slips and move on. Federal or government employees in the US, especially those in permanent positions, enjoy legal protections. So like many of Trump's decisions so far, this one too could end up being challenged in court. In fact, the biggest union of federal workers is already pushing back.
What the Trump administration is trying to do is blur the line between the civil service and political appointees. So they're essentially disbanding the civil service, and with the systematic protections that allow a career employee to report fraud, waste, abuse, unethical activity, illegal activity, they're taking away those protections.
Since taking office, President Trump has picked fights on multiple fronts. He has clashed with his political rivals. He has challenged America's allies overseas, and now he wants to sack his own government workers. This is a battle that could divide Washington. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send this special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Pretty measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.